Hello and welcome to the Wedding Dish Podcast. Grab your fork and knife and take a seat at our table as we dish on all things weddings. You'll hear stories and tips from real couples and wedding pros about love, life, and entrepreneurship. I am your hostess with the mostest on the Wedding Dish Podcast, Sarah Alapin, and I'm the CEO of both Photos from the Hardy and District Bliss. We do have our little Snorosaurus Rex behind me, so I don't know if you can hear him, but he is quite loud today and definitely was on a previous podcast recording that I did. So you may get to enjoy a little Frenchy sounds. Thank you everyone for tuning into the Wedding Dish today. We are dishing with the owner of a boutique travel agency specializing in destination weddings, honeymoons, and group travel. The human behind Simply Married Travel, Mary Hanna. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear more about what you do and all of your tips. I am can't wait to dive in here.
Same, same. I mean, I love destination weddings and I just love travel in general. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, tell us, what is a destination wedding specialist and what services do you provide?
So destination weddings are a little bit more complex. And so what we do is when we meet a couple, I usually do a consultation with them. I like to learn about their vision. I like to learn about what they're looking for, their budget, what they're looking for in a resort, ambiance, adults only, family friendly. So once I do the consult, the next step is I will gather resorts that will fit their whole vision and budget. They'll select three resorts. We will contact the resorts for them, get the check the wedding date avails, and also get the room block rates for them. We negotiate the room block contracts. We negotiate all those rates for them. We will help them with all of the guest arrangements after that. So we'll create their wedding website. We'll help them with RSVP management, and then we'll be the point of contact for all guest management. So every guest that's attending their wedding will be in contact with myself and my team. We'll also book all their shuttle arrangements to and from the resort, and then we'll do one big catamaran for them, like one big excursion. Because a lot of times they like to do like a bachelorette, bachelor party on the catamaran, or they'll just take all the guests out on the catamaran. So we do all of that for our couples. It's a lot. We love it though.
Well, it's a lot of logistics to get married. I mean, it's a legal contract. And it's also a huge celebration that you probably haven't planned in the past. So the idea of being able to have someone else who understands those logistics and knows the resorts and the budgetary constraints, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that would be the most overwhelming part of planning a destination wedding.
Yes, and I agree with that because there's thousands of resorts out there. Okay, and luckily I've traveled to a lot of them, so I've seen a lot of them firsthand. And a destination wedding, it's not like your typical local wedding, right? Where it's a 1 day event, a 5 hour event. This is a 3 day event. So you start out with night one, it's your wedding, it's your welcome party, and then night two is a rehearsal dinner, and then night three is the actual wedding. And then everything in between that, you have your pool parties, and then you just have all of your friends and family from your whole different, like, different parts of life all at the same resort with you. So it's a celebration for 3, 4, 5 days as opposed to a 1 day event. And at your local wedding, a lot of times you're not even going to see or talk to half of the guests that are there. I know for my wedding, I had 350 guests here locally in
Whoa.
New Jersey. Yes, and I couldn't tell you who I spoke with that day. I don't think I spoke to about 10% of them. But with destination weddings, you will talk to everybody that is there, at least
That's
throughout the period
such a
of
good
time that
point.
you're there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point because yeah, I mean we had a super small we had 17 people at our wedding. So 17 guests. Um and I cannot imagine being able to spend time with 350 people. It's unattainable. It's unreasonable
Yeah, no.
expectation.
I know. So we did it here in New Jersey because obviously that's where I'm from, and big weddings are normal here in New Jersey. So no, I look. Wait, this was about 14 years ago. I can't even tell you who was at my wedding. But I
You
will
were.
say, I mean, I definitely was there, but I've been to a lot of these destination weddings, and I've personally spoken to all of the guests at these weddings, at least throughout the 3, 4, 5 days that I've been out there.
Yeah, that's such good. All good points. Love that.
Hmm.
For our listeners who haven't heard of a room block before, because I know this is a really important part of what you do as well. And I think this can be a bit confusing. So, first, can you tell us what a room block is? And then talk a little bit about why that is actually incredibly important in destination wedding planning.
Sure. So when you book your wedding at a resort, these wedding packages that include your ceremony and your reception are already discounted. And the reason why they're discounted is because the hotels will make the money on the room block. Okay. So when you book a wedding at a resort, you actually have to have a room block in place as well. Now, what does the room block entail? So a lot of our brides will get married around spring break or summer months, okay, which are hot dates for resorts, and that's they usually sell out. So the room block does a couple different things for you. So if you have a room block, it secures those rooms. Okay, so if you have 100 people coming, that's about 30 rooms, 30, 40 rooms. The hotel's not going to sell those rooms. Those are your rooms to keep. So if the hotel itself sells out, you still have those rooms, which has worked in our favor in a lot of in a lot of these weddings that we've done. The second is you do earn a lot of concessions. Okay, so if you have a room block, you earn a percentage of every room that's booked. And that comes back to you either as a monetary value, you can upgrade your room, you can, apply it towards somebody else's room or apply it towards your wedding. So there's a couple different ways that you can use those concessions. And then the last thing is, you know, people think that if you have a room block, that the rates are increased. They are actually not. We negotiate those room rates for you, and a lot of times when we negotiate, we can get them lower than what's on the hotel website. Now, say we lock in your wedding 2 years out, and the rates have decreased, and now they're lower than your room block rates. What I've done in the past is I was able to go back in and renegotiate and get the rates lowered and then offer our guests refunds. So I think the one wedding that we did, there was a big difference between the rates. It was about a $2,000 difference. We went in and we renegotiated, and then we were able to refund all the guests around somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 each guest.
Whoa.
So we can price adjust. We can price, and a lot of times when you don't have that room block, whatever rate you lock in or book with the hotel, you're not going to price adjust it.
Yeah.
So
That's so interesting.
yeah,
That's a ton of money.
it's a ton of money, and that wedding was actually in January when that happened. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
amazing. Well done.
Well, thank you. I mean, negotiating is kind of my strength. That I worked corporate sales in New York, and that's what I did.
That shocks me 0%. That's incredible. I'm so impressed. And the idea that that went back to the guests, think of
Hmm.
how, if you were that guest, how held and taken care of would you feel in that moment at someone else's wedding? Like, wow, that person really cares about me because
Hmm.
they, not, I would be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like that would be like the thing I talked about in
Right.
addition to how amazing the wedding was. But I would imagine everyone there was like over the moon. So not only are they
Right.
celebrating how wonderful your marriage is and how excited they are for you, but then they're
Mhm.
also like thrilled at the entire experience. And
They
that's a
were.
huge part of like your wedding. Like the vibes are good.
It was, and it gives us a repeat clientele, right? So because we are a travel agency, so they come back to us, and even though we did the wedding, we're now doing honeymoons, we're doing vacations around Europe, we're doing cruises, so they come back to us.
Yeah. I mean, and yeah, so not only was the guest experience good for the couple, like they looked great because they hired
Mhm.
you and you were able to do this, but then you also have repeat clientele. This brilliant all around.
Oh, thank you.
Can you share a little bit about some of the costs that are associated with destination wedding planning? It can feel a bit like the Wild West because again, we probably haven't done this before and it's
Mhm.
so unique.
Yeah, so destination weddings, a lot of them have all-inclusive packages. So if you're hosting a wedding in, say, Mexico, Jamaica, or DR, those are your true all-inclusive resorts. A lot of times these packages, what they include is your welcome party, your rehearsal dinner. They include your ceremony, the 1 hour cocktail, and typically a 3 hour wedding reception or a 4 hour wedding reception, depending on the resort that you book. So that's all included in that. Now, sometimes they will include a little bit of flowers. They'll include a sound system. They'll include a little photo, a little video, but for the most part, your lighting, your DJ, your photography is additional. So it's all encompassing, really. If you're a
Yeah,
simple
and
bride, you can keep it all within that budget.
yeah, and you kind of know a little bit more clearly what the how the budget actually is coming together as you go when you
Mm-hmm.
have that all inclusive.
Yes, you do. And we also help our brides, our couples budget so we can put together a budget and also help you stay within that budget.
Yeah, that's a huge value to me because budgeting for a wedding, I was like, I was in the wedding industry and I still was like, I have no idea how to deal with this budget.
Well, think about it now, right? I think when I got married, years ago, I paid $135 a head. Now, a local wedding in New Jersey, New York, you're starting at 250
Oh,
a
at
head.
least.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least. So in destination, it's 40 to 60% of the cost of a local wedding in New Jersey, New York, at least.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot more
Yeah.
destination because it's a lot more cost savings.
Yeah. I could see that. I
Mm-hmm.
could totally see that.
Hmm.
I think a lot of couples fear that their guests might not attend if they have a destination wedding. In your experience, is that the case? And what does guest attendance like typically look like?
So typically for a destination wedding, it's 65 to 70% will attend the wedding. There is that FOMO aspect of it. So we have been seeing a little bit more. Now, if you're at a resort that's priced right, you're going to be a little bit more towards that 80% mark. Do guests not attend? The answer is they do attend because it's a vacation and they want to go on vacation with all their friends and family. So yes, they attend. And even though our deadline for booking travel is 3 months prior, we still get guests that are last minute bookings 1 month before or a few weeks before. Okay, because people have that FOMO and they want to go. So we also put people on payment plans, but what I would recommend, which helps out the guests a lot, now what I would recommend is maybe do an A list and a B list because that helps too.
Yeah. I think, the other thing in terms of guests, to your point, that you had a what I would consider a large wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can kind of get away with inviting your real true A list when you're
Yes.
going on a destination wedding
Mm-hmm.
because, it's not like you have a little bit less of the my mom wants this neighbor to come kind of situation, I would imagine. Not the expert in this field, but
Mm-hmm. That is usually the case. We could just say we're just taking a family vacation, and we just happen to get married while we're out there. So, I mean, are you really going to invite your neighbor or the person that you meet at church to your family vacation? Probably not. So,
yeah.
yes, that it's a great way to actually cut down the list because you also have people that don't live in state, or live overseas that you just don't see. This is a great way to cut down the list too.
Yeah. So if you're looking to really have like the people that you really want to be surrounded with and spend time with on your wedding day, it's definitely a good option.
Mm-hmm.
We also, what we do as when we're guests at a destination wedding is we'll tack on a couple days and go somewhere nearby. That's like another cool destination to go
Oh,
to.
yeah.
So we like make a full vacation out of it.
A lot of people do that now. Even though the wedding is for 3 days, we'll have people that extend out for 7. We'll have people that will bring, extra people with them to vacation with. We extend out a lot. We do,
Yeah.
and we'll even move guests around from the resorts. So
Ah.
yes, we do. We move people around from resorts.
I love that that's an option that
It
you
is.
like, they can just come to you.
Mm-hmm. Especially if we're doing Europe. We have a big Greece wedding coming up, and we have, it's in Crete. And, everybody that's going to Greece, obviously you don't want to just see one Greek island. You want to go to Santorini, you want to go to Mykonos, you want to go to Athens. So they'll extend out and make it, even though the wedding is for 4 days, they'll make a 10-day trip out of it.
Yeah, brilliant. Pro tip for anyone going to attend a destination
Mm-hmm.
wedding.
Yes. Feel
Um,
free to
I,
extend out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're already there.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Yeah, make it count.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have heard, and I'm sure you have heard this as well. A lot of people say things along the lines of when you have a destination wedding, your guests are paying for your wedding. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, and we hear that all the time. But it's not true. It's not true. They're just paying to go to the wedding. They're as if they're going on a regular vacation. Okay, you're paying for your flight, you're paying for your hotel room. It's the same scenario here. You're paying for your flight and your hotel room. The only difference is you're going to a wedding, okay, while you're on this vacation, and your hotel room is most likely discounted.
Yeah,
Okay. The only thing is, like, we just need you to book within the room block because the hotel needs everybody in the room block for reasons like they need to have extra staffing on site for the wedding that's arriving. Okay. They need to have extra staffing too for the welcome party and all this. They need a good guest count also. But no, the guests are not paying. Nothing that the guests are paying is going towards the wedding at all.
yeah,
It's two separate things.
yeah. I agree. I totally agree with you. And, to your point, not everybody lives local to you. And
Mm-hmm.
if I got married in DC, I mean, most of our people would be traveling from outside of DC to come to the wedding.
And that's really one of the main reasons why people do destination weddings anyway, is because not everybody is local. So they're traveling in. Like we did a 300-person wedding in Greece, and everybody was coming in from the whole, every state in the U.S. Okay, it was just all over the place. So even though the majority did come out of New Jersey, we had a lot of people come from California, from Texas. It was just all over the U.S.
Yeah, that's a long flight from California.
No, it is. It
You
is.
forget being on the East Coast how far Europe is.
Yes, and sometimes the bride will be from Texas and the groom will be from New York, so they'll do a wedding in Mexico. That's typical too. We do a lot of those.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your expertise. This has been such a fun discussion. It makes me really want to get invited to a destination wedding sometime soon.
They are a lot of fun.
They are. Where can our listeners find you online, Mary?
So we are on all social media. TikTok, I have a lot of videos on it where I talk about resorts and stuff, and it's at simply simply underscore MARYED.
Love it. Awesome. And we will, of course, link to you in the episode description and tag you on social media. And while you're looking up Simply Married on all of the platforms, you can find us on Instagram at the Wedding Dish Podcast. And if you would like to be a guest on the Wedding Dish Podcast, head on over and apply at theweddingdishpodcast.com. I would love to hear all of your tips and tricks for wedding planning and share them with our incredible audience. Don't forget to tune in next week. We have another incredible guest coming on. I won't give any spoilers, but I'm very excited for you all to continue this conversation. And if you like the podcast, give us a follow, rate, and review on your preferred podcast app. Until we meet again, thanks, Mary.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers.